Do you feel responsible for how other people feel? Like if someone is upset, it somehow becomes your job to fix it? Hi, I'm Scarlett Classic, and welcome to Classic Advice, a mental health podcast offering guidance for resilient souls, anchoring calm amid the chaos. Sometimes we can take accountability for other people's feelings, and we try to smooth it over, we try to make them feel better, we try to keep the peace, even when it is a cost to us. And that's not just kindness, that's emotional responsibility, that's taking responsibility for their feelings. And it can be exhausting. Because caring about someone doesn't mean carrying them. So, for example, say you get invited out to something or other, and you really need some you time. You really need just an evening or a day or whatever to yourself, to unwind, to just decompress or whatever. Do you. And you say no to going out. And your friend gets upset, like really upset, and then starts guilt tripping you because of whatever. But they are so upset that they make you feel bad because they are upset. Or maybe they don't even guilt trip you, but you just feel so bad that they feel so sad. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. But you feel so bad because they feel so upset. And so you change your mind and you go anyway. And then you say no to self-care. And you feel even more drained after. This is what it looks like when you take, that's you taking responsibility for their feelings. Because there is a difference between feeling responsible and being compassionate. Because you can be compassionate and understanding to their feelings and say, look, I am really sorry. I really need some me time. Can we do it and then suggest a different day? You're not saying no to them, you're just saying no to them on that specific day or whatever. Right? When you feel responsible for someone's emotions, it's like taking ownership of them. And you might feel pressure to fix it or manage it and basically change how they feel. Fix it. You want to fix their feelings. It can and overriding our own needs in order to keep other people happy and comfortable. And this can be what people pleasing, right? Is avoiding conflict, feeling guilt when other people are upset, and slowly you abandoning yourself and me abandoning myself. Because the moment that we make their emotions or other people's emotions our responsibilities, then we make ourselves the sacrifice, and our needs don't get met. And this can be a behavior that other people learn, especially kids. If we do this to our kids when they're upset, we change our mind, we change the discipline or whatever, they learn that. And then they learn that when they throw a temper tantrum or whatever, then they get what they want. And then they carry that into adulthood. And that is not a good thing. It's not a good thing to be throwing temper tantrums in the grocery store or at work when you're an adult. Responsibility, taking responsibility for other people's actions. That I need to fix this, that I can't let them feel this way, that I just care about them so deeply, I have to make it better for them. So I'll just cancel my plans, do it anyway. Now, compassion, that expressing that you understand that they're upset. I do this with my kids. I understand you're upset. I understand. That understanding goes a long way. Acknowledging how they are feeling, telling them that their feelings are valid. Validating your friend's feelings when you say no. I understand you're upset. I know what you're going through is hard. And you don't need to verbalize this one, but you can say that I care. And to yourself, you can say, I care, but I don't need to fix how they feel. As parents, this can be really hard on our own emotions because we love our kids so much. And we love our friends too, but kids are just so little and cute. And we want to fix how they feel. And my kids are growing up now. They're in their teens. So, they're going through different things, and I want to just, I just do it for them. But I can't do that. They have to learn on their own. And little kids too, validate how they feel. But you don't need to take away their emotions, because them learning how to sit in the emotion, that is gold. You can teach your kids how to sit in hard emotions like that. That is gold. Because then they will carry that into adulthood. So instead of being manipulative, like the example that I gave with the temper tantrum in the grocery store, then the temper tantrum at work, right? To get what they want. Instead, they learn to sit in their emotions and deal with them and cope with them in a healthy way, knowing that their feelings are validated, that you care for them, that you see them, that you understand how they feel, and that it's okay. And when you put your needs first, like I sometimes express this to my kids, I am so tired or I am so cranky right now, you need to leave me alone. And then they know, it's not me, mom's just having a moment, and she'll be better tomorrow. You don't need to lose yourself in order to fix others. Because that learning how to sit in those emotions and not taking that responsibility for their emotions, because we have, our own job and our own emotions, and that's hard enough to deal with on its own, than taking on the extra added weight of somebody else's emotions. Like that is huge. If we can not take responsibility for other people's emotions and just focus on our own emotions, because, they're hard enough. Learning how to sit in them. Getting rid of that pattern of feeling guilty so that you drop your own self-care. And shifting to acknowledging how they feel, standing firm in your own boundary, I'm sorry that you're upset. Let's reschedule, but I need this time, etc., or whatever. You don't need to ignore them. Validate how they feel, but you don't need to abandon yourself. Boundaries can feel like rejection to other people when they benefited from your lack of them in the past. I'm going to repeat that just in case you were distracted with something. Boundaries can feel like rejection to others when they have benefited from your lack of them in the past. So that example of the tantrum one, for people to get what they want, some people are very manipulative, and they might not be doing this intentionally, or they might, I don't know. But sometimes when people are manipulative, and they like to say certain things to get you to do certain things, because they know that if they guilt trip you, you're going to give in, that is not a true friend. And if someone is doing that to you, then you need to get better friends. You don't need to put up with that. I set a lot of boundaries in the past, and I lost a lot of friends. But then I gained really good ones that respect boundaries. And I came to the point in my life where I would rather have, one friend or no friends than have bad friends that just try to manipulate like that. Because it's not a true friend. Because that's not the same compassion that you would give to them. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. This matters so much because when we constantly take on other people's emotions, we become so drained. And it can build resentment to the other person, right? And we lose that connection to our own needs, and we can lose ourselves in the process if we go really hard into people pleasing. Our mental health will start to suffer, and not because you don't care. It's because you care at your own expense, and we don't need to do that. You can't stay emotionally healthy when you're carrying what was never yours to hold. You were never meant to hold and carry the weight of other people's emotions. We have our own backpack of emotions that are ours and that we don't share. And other people's emotions, we don't take that backpack. We have our own. You can't wear 2 backpacks at once unless you put one on the front, and that is not how you're supposed to wear a backpack. It's supposed to be on your back. We are responsible for our own actions, our own words, and our own boundaries. What we're not responsible for, other people's reactions, other people's emotions, and how they process them and how they cope with them. You can let people feel what they feel, and that's okay, without making it your job to fix it. You can be kind and understanding and validating without being responsible. So next time someone is upset, I would encourage you to pause and ask yourself, am I being compassionate or am I taking responsibility? You can choose to care without self-abandoning your own needs. Loving ourselves first so that we can love others. Because the goal isn't to stop being kind. I would never tell you to stop being kind. I think kindness matters so incredibly much in this world. It's just to stop losing ourselves in the process. You don't have to lose yourself to prove that you care. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Advice, guidance for resilient souls. May you stay anchored in what steadies you, rise resilient through what challenges you, and carry calm into whatever comes next. Take care. Love ya.